I wanted to share with you some tips and tricks to help make backbends accessible and for you to actually enjoy them. Backbends are not a lot of people's favourite, and they can be very limiting or can actually cause more discomfort in the lower back. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to help benefit the spine and the body when we do backbends. So we'll look at them standing and we'll look at them lying down. And the rules are generally the same. So when we're standing at the top of the mat or on the mat for a standing backbend, so something like this, we want to make sure that we lift the pubic bone, we descend the tailbone, and we press strongly and firmly into the feet. So the more we press into the feet, the more support we give the spine. This tapping of the tailbone, this lifting of the pubic bone helps to make sure we don't compress the lower back. And so we're really trying to keep most backbends into the middle and upper back. The lower back has lots of flexibility, so we're trying to keep this really long, stop it from compressing, and then we can lift up and move into the upper and the middle back. So those are your kind of guides for standing backbends. It would be the same if we took something like Natarajasana. So as we come into this, we would lift the pubic bone, descend the tailbone, press firmly into the left foot, and then we keep that as we start to gently lift the chest and fold a little bit from the hip. So keeping the length in the lower back, keeping the back bend mainly in the upper middle back. We have the same thing when we come to do stuff like cobra, where we lie on the belly. So we use our legs, so instead of pressing the feet down, we press the legs down, now giving support for the spine. So tops of the feet press down, your thighs press down, your knees might lift a little bit away from the floor. We lift the pubic bone, we descend the tailbone, and we keep the hips pressing into the floor as we lift up through the middle and upper back. It is harder to do rather than just kind of going into the lower back. Keeping the length in the lower back, move your chest forward and up. Your legs are strong, so rather than pressing the feet down, you're pressing the legs down, which supports the spine. The other thing to remember is that your neck impacts the feeling in your lower back. So for some people, taking cobra and lifting the chin feels really nice. For other people, myself included, it causes a little bit of aggravation in the lower back. It doesn't feel good for my body. So instead of lifting my chin, having the gaze slightly down allows me to keep my lower back healthy. So a few things you can do just to help your back bends. Let's look at lying on the back in bridge pose. And those principles are all the same. Okay, so any back bend we do, use your legs and your feet, lift the pubic bone, descend the tailbone, and allow your middle, your upper back, and chest to open. We don't want to be in the lower back in that super flexible part of the spine. This needs to stay supported, and the back bend comes from a little bit higher. General rule of thumb. It doesn't always work for some people. You might need to take some of these tips and then adjust them a little bit. This is just what I found from years of practice, what works for my body after I've had back pain in the past. And now I know how to manage it and not to push it and not to force it in the yoga class, and actually to take a variation that works for my body. And I still get to do back bends. So we'll take bridge pose, bring the feet close to the hips. With bridge pose, if your toes want to turn out and your knees turn out a little bit, fine. They don't have to be parallel. All depends on your hip bones, so just be aware of that as you come up. We do the same thing. We use the legs. You're going to press into your feet. You're going to lift your pubic bone, descend your tailbone, so you can see this, or hopefully you can see this pelvic tilt that I do before I come up. And then from here I can lift the hips. My lower back has lots of length. I'm not compressing here, the back muscles are working, and I can feel that the back bend is also in the middle and the upper back. Pressing the feet down so my spine is supported, and I can stay here and breathe. and slowly we'll come down. Good, so a bit like when we need to turn the toes out maybe to come up into bridge pose, or maybe even turn the knees and the feet in slightly. All depends on bone structure into the hips. So what I found is that some teachers will say that you need to turn your inner thighs to the ceiling or back in back bends. So by this I mean, if I was in Cobra, I would roll my inner thighs up and have my heels slightly more on an angle and then come up. For me, that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good in my back. This feels like a real struggle. It just doesn't feel great. A little bit of pinching in the lower back. So it's okay if you need to kind of turn your inner thighs down to the mat. Yeah, my body is happier with this. So again, it's just being aware that the position of your legs impacts the position of your hips, which will impact what happens in your lower back when you do a back bend. So if this doesn't work with the inner thighs moving to the ceiling, maybe having the thighs more flat, the inner thighs moving a little bit down, will make a difference. Okay. So that's just something to remember, and you can do the same with your standing back bends there. In that, if you were to do your upward salute, your inner thighs might go forward. Or maybe they go back. I know that back doesn't work for me, I can't go as far, it's not good for me, so it's just about playing and finding and using some, different ways to access your back bends and being okay with it not looking exactly like you're told it's meant to look. One more thing that is a big discussion point with back bends is if we engage the glutes or not. Again, for some people, engagement of the glutes helps to support their back, fantastic. For other people, they don't need to engage the glutes. For me, I need them to be doing something, because I have a sensitive lower back. Other people, they don't need to, their glutes don't naturally engage, and again, that's fine. There's not one way to do things, there's not one right and one wrong. So it's about exploring and using these tips and tricks to get the most out of your back bends. Of course, if you have any questions, please do let me know. And I just hope that you found this video really helpful. Thank you for watching.